I'm out here checking out these white oak areas, and the season is a full 3 weeks away. It's mid-September, and in Pennsylvania the season won't start until October 5th, that Saturday in October. So there's a lot of time for the deer to change their habits and adapt to the falling acorns. I'm actually happy with what I found so far. What I found so far is white oaks dropping. They dropped as I was walking up in here, and red oaks already on the ground too. That means this area will probably really heat up the first week in October, and the deer are probably going to be here in droves. And this is the kind of place I'm going to hunt real quickly within the first couple of days of the season, because it's a popular place to hunt and there is pressure here. So I'll show you some of these red oaks and white oaks. This is the main trail right here. You can see it's down to the dirt, and the deer do. There's some tracks right here in this dry dirt, and even in dry dirt, you can determine if the deer are using the area. So here's one acorn right here. As soon as I took that first step, and then there's some more up here. And another thing you can do is put binoculars. There's one right there. Now these are the smaller ones. I do tend to think that they are the white oaks in general. There's one down here. Now this is a bigger one. So I do believe on my left is a white oak, and on my right is more than likely a red oak. They're both in this area, and this place got hammered last year. These acorns here, these bigger ones, these are the red oaks, and they're very they're in abundant supply here. And there are also white oaks in this area, and those are the ones that they really key in on. So as soon as I find some of those white oaks, I'll get them on camera here. Now I'm getting into some fresh sign here. It's first fresh droppings that I've found. And what I'm doing now is I'm getting back farther from the parking area, and I'm checking another oak grove, see what I can find there for acorn sign and deer sign too. I think I might set up a trail camera there too, because I've never put one in the right spot yet. There's another little acorn there. It's all about acorns opening day. There's some dried stuff, so getting closer to some more activity. Let's see, there we go. That's the magic food for these guys. Now, starting to get into some feeding. So right here we have where the ground is kicked up, and I just found some deer droppings. So it could be just one deer just doing all this, but I'm getting back farther to more secure areas. On my left side here is a thicket, a good bedding area. And what I'm gonna do is walk down this edge here with the open woods where the acorns are dropping, and see if I can't find any white oaks and fresh deer sign, because if I can, I'll mark it in my mind as a future hunting spot. Let's see something there. Oh, there's all kinds of red oaks on the ground here. Okay. See all these things here, just everywhere. Yep. An interesting thing is that the acorns are certainly on the upper half of the ridge here. And when I got halfway down, they just stopped. Now here's a really well-used trail right here. And this is what I'm looking for to harvest some does. So this is the main trail that deer use. They're walking right at the edge of the thicket, and they're walking the edge of this feeding area where the acorns are falling from here to the top of the ridge. So I'll find a location to hunt from, and I don't think I'm going to bother with trail cameras. There's no reason to, and it would just draw attention to this spot. So I'll pick a spot now, a tree, considering the wind direction. Right now the thermals are blowing up the ridge like this. And since I suspect the deer to be bedded in there, I have to literally hunt a parallel wind, which I can set up here, so that when I come in here, if they hear me, it's not the end of the world, but if they smell me, it will be for me. I won't see a tail. So I'll keep that in mind as I set up, as I choose a tree here to hunt. Because I'll probably be coming in here in the afternoon, and I can set up quietly with my gear. And again, I'm not so worried about the sound as I am the wind. So I'm going to set up, I understand the wind's going this way. I'm going to set up a parallel to it and hopefully tag a nice doe. It's a week before the Pennsylvania opener, and I'm out here checking my white oak trees, and one of the biggest ones that I know of is actively dropping well this year. And it doesn't happen every year, but it's on this year. So I have 2 ground blinds that I've been using in the past here. I'm going to check them out, one in the morning and one in the evening, see if I will use them this year or perhaps put up a stand. But this will be good in the early season, and I'm glad I came up here. Here's our white oak leaves, the rounded edges, and I'll show you the tree here. See all these white oak leaves on the ground. And this is our tree. Look how big that baby is. This is, they're falling as I'm speaking. Almost every 10 to 20 seconds they're dropping. But this is a big white oak. The deer will hit this early season. I just need to be particular with my setups this year because I've been busted on the ground here before. So I'm gonna review that now. As you can see, there's a nice old logging road that's coming right next to this tree, this white oak. And I'm probably gonna set up right here on this tree, which is within 10 yards of the huge white oak that's dropping. Just get up there a ways, and I will decide if I want to go completely mobile or if I want to hang one and leave it there, because I think this spot's going to be dynamite in the early season. There's a deer, I believe, right here. I think that is, been working a branch right here. It was thrashing that, it was thrashing some leaves right there in that bush. I'm going to stand up and see if I can get a better look. There was definitely something right there. I don't know if you can see it, but right there. There's something there. I think it's probably a deer. Right there, you see that? Thrashing. Yep, they were deer. There they go. Alright, this is good. I'm actually glad I pushed them. There were 2 doe right there. What I saw was real. And this was the last place I wanted to check today. Actually jumping these deer at this time of day. I've hunted this area before. It'll be good this year. That was cool. Next time I see those deer, I'm going to be set up either in a ground blind or tree stand. I'll look around here right now and see what I can see. I've located my tree. It's right here. And it's a little bit of a gnarly tree, but it'll be easy to climb with my sticks. And when I get up about 12 feet, it's straight up there. And this will require sticks, the segmented sticks. I have 3 sticks plus I actually have 2 8ers, at least 1 8er I'll use. I need to get at least 12 to 15 feet up in a little spot here. And what that will do is it'll catch the natural movement of the deer through here. It's 1 week before the Pennsylvania archery season opens, and I'm out here doing a little bit of last minute scouting, but this is probably the most important scouting I'll do for the month of October. When I got out of my truck on this mountain ridge, I opened the door and there were acorns on the ground. And this side of the ridge is absolutely flooded with acorns everywhere. Predominantly red oaks. 95% of them are red oaks. But I did find 1 white oak and there's a big scrape under it. I'm just going to go ahead and hunt it. I may or may not put a trail camera there, but probably going to stick to the mobile system this year because of the amount of effort it takes to bring in a hang-on stand, set it up, and then carry it out. So I'll show you the scrape here in a bit. But behind me, we have a major bedding area that I discovered a few years ago when I did my spring and winter scouting. And there's some big beds in there, but there's also doe beds in there. It's the deer bed in this cutover behind me, and they make their way past where I'm standing right now on these major trails. I presume mostly does, but the direction that they're moving is right towards that lone white oak. So it's a no-brainer. I'm going to be set up within archery range of that white oak in a mobile tree stand or perhaps a hang-on that I might set up today. Well, as they say, I found the mother lode. There's not just 1 white oak, there are a bunch. There's one right behind me. There's one right there. They are dropping acorns. They're on the ground. The cap's been tossed aside. There's a lot of deer sign here where they're coming out of the bedding area right up there. I'm definitely going to be hunting this, and I'm very glad I came out today. This might be my last day scouting for preseason, and I can tell you I can easily take a deer here. And I'm just going to pick my mobile tree, or perhaps bring in an actual ladder and a hang-on, we'll see. But I think if I'm careful, I might be able to get multiple deer out of here. I'll show you some of the acorns on the ground and the deer sign. It's looking good. Okay, this is right behind the camera. Got all kinds of acorns on the ground that are being eaten up. We got these caps. Look at all these things here. They're just everywhere. So see, there's the white oak leaf, the round one there, because there's 3 oaks right in this area. They're hitting this hard. So it'll be good. Can hardly wait to hunt here. These bigger acorns, these are usually the red oaks that you can see, but they're mixed with white oaks. So deer are definitely aiming at the white oaks right now. You can see where a lot of the leaves have been kicked up around in here feeding. And in addition to that, there are a lot of old buck rubs here. Almost every single tree has these old ones, so they'll be freshened up this year. So I think I just found a corridor of movement, obviously into the white oaks. I'm going to be hunting here the first week, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now there's a big, nice, fresh scrape right here in front of me, and it's about this wide, and there's obviously a buck making a scrape here now, and there's tracks in it as well. I'm going to go ahead and monitor this area so I know what kind of buck is making this scrape. Probably a pretty good one. Going to go ahead and set up my trail camera right here. And see what he looks like. All right. So I'll monitor this scrape and see what kind of buck is active here. There you can see the scrape right there. Well, that's a big one for the last week in September. It's a good sign there's a dominant buck in the area. Then above it, you can see all these overhanging branches that they're working. Overhanging leaves and the actual branches. They can lick off any one of those they can use to deposit their orbital gland scents. So it should be a good spot to monitor deer, and I'm going to be hunting here within 40 yards of this scrape.